This week I spent some time researching Zillow's data, both past and current, of what they're thinking is going on with housing and mortgage rates. I think you'll find it very interesting. Kind of my reaction video, so to speak. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining me on today's video, where I discuss Zillow's research. And I gotta tell you, it's really very interesting. You know, on this channel we do a lot of market updates and strategy videos. So if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. Hope you enjoy the content. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So a lot of topics that I looked at here, and I want to focus on just a few today. But one of the data points that Zillow looked at last year was the return of inventory, housing inventory. So if you look at the graph here, you're going to see that the experts were expecting inventory growth to return in the second half of 2021. Now, I really like Zillow. They're a bunch of great number crunchers, and they've got their ear to the ground pretty well. But I wanted to give you my own boots on the ground reaction as to what they're telling you and what is really going on in the market. So in regards to this inventory growth, I like looking in the past to see if the experts were right. And in the survey, you'll see that the experts were expecting the housing inventory to come back in the second half of 2021. Well, they were about a year late. So inventory didn't come back until about after mortgage rates started to go into the tank. They went up around March 2022. Which means is that we had a stellar year of appreciation since 2021. Now, inventory has since absolutely flooded the market in many markets across the country. A lot of it due to the summertime, which is when most people put their homes on the market. And right now I'm seeing even the nicest of homes sitting. Sellers they're coming down off of I'll call them their overinflated prices. And buyers are actually starting to be able to negotiate. I'm even seeing contracts with seller concessions, contingencies being on the contract, which has been kind of a thing of the past. You know, we have been 2 years in this market where if you didn't come in non-contingent and like waiving pretty much everything, and we'll basically take the home sight unseen, we don't care what's happening. Oh, and we're also going to bid 10-15% over list price. You didn't really stand a chance. So it's nice to see the market is normalizing. I wanted to mention something though, is that because sellers are coming off their inflated home prices, because of the inventory, more supply typically means that the prices are going to come down a little bit. But please don't misunderstand, this is not a crash of home prices, rather it's just a normalization of home prices. You know, we're seeing, like I said, financing, appraisal, and even the home inspection contingencies coming back into the market, which is really nice. So I've actually done a lot of videos on this, and I've done a lot of work for you all on my YouTube channel, so you can see. So watch some of the videos, other videos about the markets and things of that nature. I hope it'll be helpful. The other thing Zillow addressed was when should be the best time to list your house. And that's the question. Typically you think that, oh goodness gracious, it's always got to be springtime, spring market, everybody get ready for spring market. And some were thinking even a couple years ago that spring market's going to start early, maybe list your home in January or February. Well, Zillow did this research, and they chose a market, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And basically they said that, okay, in Philadelphia, they looked at the best month to list your house being actually late April, May, which is very interesting. So, and I think there's a couple interesting facts about this graphic, is that even though it's specific to the Philadelphia market, I'm seeing very similar data across the country. It's, like I mentioned, it's really no longer that it's the spring market that gets all the buyers, and it's the early summer, okay? And this makes sense because, you know, most families typically move during the summer and try to get into the new home school district before school starts. And so this is really when people are listing their homes. So, I mean, think about it. If I'm putting my kid in school, and this is when I'm going to be putting my home on the market, I don't figure it's going to take more than 60, 90 days to sell. So I'm giving them that kind of leeway. That's the summertime move. If you'd like a listing or to see the selling data of your market, you can just go ahead and pop me an email to rick@loanwithrick.com, and I'll certainly get you all that good stuff. So let's look at the next alarming rental data from Zillow. Now this is something I dug into the numbers. Now being a math major, I love numbers, but I have said it before on many a video that renting really sucks. And I'll just say it again, renting sucks right now, it really sucks. And I don't want to spoil my next point, but you'll see that home prices are still increasing and they're not crashing. Even in the midst of higher mortgage rates, for the very most part, better to buy than to rent. Now, I know this graphic is very hard to see, but what you're looking at is the average rents for every metropolitan statistic area, the MSA, in the country. And the highlighted area that I have here is the Washington, D.C. metro area where I'm from, Northern Virginia, Maryland, D.C. Now, note that in just 1 year, the average rent went up from $2,152.36 to $2,335. I mean, this is $183 per month increase in rents. If you want to put that into percentage, that's like 8% an increase in your rent per year. That's crazy. I did a video on this as far as like the buying, the renting, and you can go ahead and check a look. The link will be in the description. And I addressed some of the massive detriments renting has right now. And you'll be kind of surprised. A lot of people don't think about, they just kind of look at the money aspect, which is cheaper, right? But there's so much more to consider than just how much it's going to cost you per month in the offset. So I highly suggest you take a look at that video. I think it'll help you out. And also, I've done a lot of work in providing some really cool calculators. This isn't a sales pitch. I'm just trying to let you know that you can compare. The numbers don't lie. We have, through partnership with MBS Highway, a good friend of mine, Barry Habib, has a fantastic tool. It looks at every single MSA in the country, looks at the historical and forecasted appreciation for every home in every county out there, and it'll kind of give you a good gauge on whether or not renting is better than buying or vice versa. The next topic I want to talk about is home values and sales growth. Now, I told you I wasn't going to spoil it, so I put this kind of crazy graph here, and you'll see a lot of numbers flying across, but this is definitely a very hot topic, is what is actually going on with home prices. Zillow continues to update their outlook on home prices, forecasting their appreciation targets and whatnot, and they significantly lowered the appreciation rates in the market across the country. Now, what this Excel spreadsheet is showing is that homes are expected to appreciate from August of this year, 2022, to August 2023 at about 2.4%. Now let's just focus on the number for a second. I said appreciation. This is a key topic. We're not talking about depreciation. I did a video recently about a very successful YouTuber out there. He said, you know, home prices are crashing 50%. Well, okay, they're not. The growth was slowing by 50%, and he was spot on. But we're not talking about home prices. Home prices are not declining. In most markets, they are still increasing. Ask any real estate agent around, they're not going to tell you that home prices are crashing. From what I'm seeing on the street is that much of these falling home prices and why home prices are falling is really because homes are coming back into a realistic price range. And remember, for over a year, we've had buyers paying upwards to 10 to 15% over list price, which is absolutely crazy. I actually saw a townhouse in Woodbridge I did a loan for. I think it was listed for like $480 and it sold for $580. It was something absurd like that. So that home was absolutely nowhere worth it then. And of course it did underappraise, but the borrower ended up getting the house. He really wanted it. Now fast forward 1 year later and projecting into the future for that specific house. You know, it would be logical to assume that this home contributed to this lack of growth outlook. I guess what I'm saying is that don't let several bad apples in the market deter you from buying just because you don't think homes are going to appreciate. I mean, consider the data that we're working with. I mean, take out the stupidity of the last year, and you're going to see that homes have been appreciating at a pretty good clip, a normalized clip, and they're still going up. Here's my personal take. We will see a continued reduction in list prices back to kind of normalcy. There's actually a YouTuber that I follow, and she mentioned that she wasn't going to be scared of any market crash until she sees prices go below where they were in 2020. I think this is a very adept response to questions that are being given us loan professionals and real estate professionals. We are still seeing much higher prices from when they were pre-pandemic, and this is really good news for the market. So here's my 2 cents on everything. When you look at things like home values and the rental data and when you're supposed to list and the inventory of homes, it is still a really good time to buy. And I really wanted to just encourage you that if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, send us an email, and we will get back to you. It's our desire to serve you with our clients. We've done a lot of work on trying to give good information back to you, the community. And visit us on our website, check us out, loanwithrick.com. Follow me on social media, and we've got a lot of really good stuff and tools and tips and stuff for you there. Love to engage with y'all. Thank you again for watching. This is Rick, and I will see you in the next video.